What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Great Men with Shane Sams. I'm your host, Shane Sams, and I am super excited today because I get to hang out with a really good friend of mine. His name is Jeff McMahon. He's a personal trainer, he is an entrepreneur, he is the founder of the Ageless Athlete Show. He holds a degree in pre-med and pre-pharmacy with dual certifications in exercise science, sports medicine, and injury rehab. Maybe the most overqualified person I've ever had on the show. He has trained some of the biggest names in the online business world, like Pat Flynn, Amy Porterfield, John Lee Dumas. Most importantly, though, this guy trained me over the interwebs and kicked off my reclaiming of my health a while back. Jeff McMahon, welcome to the podcast.
Happy to be here, buddy. That was an amazing intro. I'm not going to
You're an
lie.
amazing guy, man. That's what I said. And I just want to tell everybody, too, for anybody out there that thinks everything goes smooth and perfect in my life, that is not true. Me and Jeff recorded this actually about a week ago, and I got out of here and I was like, why is there only 4 minutes? I think I hit pause. You know what I'm saying? I just love you so much. I just wanted to trick you into coming back on the podcast, Jeff. That's what it is.
There we go. There we go.
Love it, man. Dude, I love your work, man. It's something that's really like near and dear to my heart because, I'm 48 years old, look 28. I'm flexing into the camera if you're not watching.
100%.
Right, you know what I'm saying? But like, man, I really lost my body, especially like over 40 years old. Like when I got to 40, I just I couldn't feel like I could work out as much. My diet had gotten bad. I'd gotten like sedentary and man, the body is just such the foundation for your mental health, for your physical health, for your spiritual health, for everything, really. If your body is sick, like you think you got problems, get sick and let your body let you down and you won't be able to do anything else. Like, what do you think it is like, about that 40-year-old mark for a guy that really hasn't been paying attention to his body and he needs to get it back? Like why does fixing the body seem like the foundation for everything else we do as we get older?
I mean, you hit the nail on the head by just saying with your body comes confidence, with your body comes ability, with your body becomes energy. And so in our 20s and 30s, especially a lot of people are raising families, doing everything for kids, spouses, and everything else. They put themselves on the back burner. So by the time they get to their 40s, they're burnt out, they're exhausted, they're stressed out. And life happens where it's just gotten to, you might be overweight, you might be bad eating habits, bad, vice habits, whether it's alcohol or smoking or whatever, things like that. And just a light bulb always hits because we start to lose our testosterone. We start to lose, our way our bodies used to be able to do things. And now we're not able to do those same things. So it happens to everyone. It happens to me. My body changed as I was going from, 35 to 40. Now I'm 43 and I've had to make different changes to adjust to be able to keep up my maintenance of what I would like to look like for myself. And I'm not perfect, but in that world, every guy goes through it. So you're not alone in that journey. It's just, what are you going to do about it is up to you. And that's where today's conversation helps.
You look fit as hell, man. Don't tell me you're not. I don't know what perfect is, but you look like you could run a marathon like right now. You know what I'm saying? It's a couple of things you said there. I've had, I've got a new book coming out, and I've really been thinking back over 50 years of life almost. And one of the things that you said there that really stood out to me was that you put everybody else first. And I think
Yeah.
like guys, like one, I think we're hardwired to be sacrificial for like our kids, our partner, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? We're just wired that
Mhm.
way. But there's this societal pressure to put everyone else first, like to literally almost martyr yourself. And that actually is a kind of like, to me, it feels, the more that I think about it, kind of toxic. Like that, put your family first. Everything goes before you. Protect, provide, whatever it takes to do all those things. But like I can't show up for Isaac and Anna Joe as an unhealthy person. Like I can't be what they need and the best version of myself if I'm not physically healthy. Because I don't know about you, man, but like if I don't go to the gym or I don't do something physical, or walk my dog, whatever it is, every day, I find my mental health starts falling down. I find my focus, my frustration increases. I find that my kids will need me to go do something and I'll be so tired that, yeah, I can show up, but they're just getting scraps, like worn down scraps from everything else. And I've been really thinking about the priorities of that in a man's life. Like you almost have to put yourself first, especially with your body if you're going to be what you need to be for everybody else.
Well, yeah, and the problem with, as you said, society is when you put yourself first, then everyone calls you a narcissist. When you put yourself first, everyone
Mm,
says that you don't care about anyone else. You just only care about yourself. And it's like, I wish that thought process wasn't true because it just makes you feel bad to want to be good for yourselves. You know what I
totally,
mean?
man.
And
Yeah, man.
that's where I don't like a lot of things about society, but that's one of them that it's like everyone, women and men should put themselves first to, want to be able to be happy around their family, to give 100%, not just show up, but also be present. You need both of those to be happy for your kids. So that way they
Yeah.
feel loved and feel paid attention to. And you're not going to be able to do that if you don't take care of yourself. And, it's a grind. But the people that I know that are happiest are ones that not, you don't have to work out 7 days a week, by all means, nothing that, but to be active and to be doing things. Yes, you want to live an active lifestyle because even my clients in their 70s are way better than any of their class reunion people that they see and stuff because they take care of themselves. They're active. They can still play with grandkids, go on hikes, go camping, go to Hawaii and go, hike a mountain like it's no big deal. You want to be able to do that to enjoy life.
It is weird how immediately you get shamed for it. Like I was, dude, I was at this cookout or something, man, and like one of my cousins was there, and my family, like every family, they take care of themselves at varying degrees. But this
Mhm.
cousin of mine, man, he was like so out of shape, he looked like he was just a corpse walking around, like about to bloat and explode. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Okay.
yeah, I hope he's not listening, but I love you, and I still love you, bro. I'm trying to help you get better. But like he came up to me and he hadn't seen me. He's not seen me in like 3 or 4 years, probably. And like I am just like totally different before and after. Like you wouldn't recognize me walking down the street compared to what I was back in like 2020, 2021. And he comes up to me and he goes, "Man, you look different." That's what he said. He goes, "Don't go getting healthy on the rest of us." And I was like, "What?" Like he was like, it was like he. I guess it was just the seeing that it's possible and what he might not be doing and what I am doing makes that immediate shame response, that immediate
Yeah.
cut you down a peg. And and it's like that. It's like I ain't got time for that. I got kids, I got a wife, I got this, I got the other. And I'm like, boys, it's not hard. There's a reason people say work out in the morning. It's not just because it's better or it's worse. It's like you put yourself first when you wake up at 6 a.m. and you get your exercise done. And that's it. And now you're 8 a.m., you're energized, you feel good. I ain't never seen nobody walk out of the gym unhappy. And
No.
that's what putting yourself first means is just like take care of yourself and then you can more better take care of everybody around you, you know?
Mhm. And they always take it for granted. They always think they're going to wake up the next day and be fine. But tomorrow is not guaranteed. And the worse you let your body go, like type 2 diabetes has become a normal thing for society. And if
Crazy.
anyone is on type 2 diabetes, you can just wake up and you'll be blind. You can wake up and you won't have feeling in your leg. That will never come back. The nerve damage is done. They literally have to amputate your leg because it'll get gangrene on you. So, like,
Mm.
things that we normalize should be scaring us to want to be healthy. But since so many people are on the unhealthy side, they normalize it to make themselves feel better. And it then make us who want to pick a priority, we're narcissists or we're.
Did that body positive movement was such bullshit. Can I just say that out loud right now? It's just
Yes.
the most dumb bullshit thing of lowering standards for yourself I've ever seen in my life. Now, I'm not saying judge people. I'm not saying not love people. I'm not saying not like treat people with dignity, but you can't just say I'm 200 pounds overweight and I love the way I am. And I'll tell you how you know it was bullshit because it was taking off, taking over, like Victoria's Secret's changing their models, like all these different, the ways we look at a healthy body were changing. And then
Yeah.
all of a sudden the GLP ones came out, and then all a bunch of those people that were all body positive lost weight. And then they became before and after pictures, and they started selling supplements. And they started, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, look how healthy I am now. Like, wait a minute. Like 5 months ago, you were saying that big was beautiful. Like,
Right.
God, it drove me insane because I was getting healthy when that was going on. And I was like,
Mhm.
y'all are crazy, man. I was laying in a hospital bed for 9 days, fat, out of shape, about to die. And I don't feel that way anymore. So
Nope.
it's not about the looks, it's just about just feeling better.
I,
And putting yourself first so you can go out and do it. You know what I'm saying? The testosterone thing for us, that is a thing that has to happen, right? It's called like hypergonadism or something. Like
Yeah.
eventually it's going to start dropping, and you've got to really dial in diet and exercise and even supplements to make it better, correct?
Correct. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And, most guys like to skip leg day, and that's your biggest testosterone booster is to be doing leg exercises. So testosterone is a huge part for men because that's our biggest hormone that allows for muscle growth, allows for energy, allows for production of cells. A lot of things come from testosterone. So when it's low, you feel crappy, you have no motivation, you're depressed, you most likely are out of shape, and it just goes, down, down, down. And it doesn't need to be that way.
Totally, man. I think that like, we have a mental health epidemic, especially with men, because loneliness in men is at the highest levels it's ever been. People are depressed. We're functioning, like we're doing our thing, man. We're going to work, we're doing these stuff. But like I think that like, the SSRI epidemic, which I'm not against those medicines for certain cases, but like all these things we do to mask and cover up and make ourselves feel a little bit better. I think if most dudes would just get their testosterone better, like all that stuff would kind of evaporate. Like I started doing TRT. That's what I chose to do. I mean, I eat a lot of
Yeah.
steak and protein, and I do the diet right, but mine just wasn't moving. And I started TRT, and I remember the morning about 6 weeks into that, where I walked into the bathroom to brush my teeth, and I looked in the mirror, and I was like, I know that guy. Like I remember that guy. It was the look in my eyes. It wasn't physical transformation. It wasn't anything. There was just something different when my testosterone started getting back up that made me just so motivated and so like I could control my emotions better. I wasn't frustrated and angry all the time. But I mean, but nobody tells us this stuff. And testosterone it's stigmatized, man. When you start doing anything, you're only eating meat, you're only eating steak, you're trying to get your testosterone up, you do a little hormone replacement, people freak the hell out on you.
Well, because bodybuilding is bastardized testosterone to an extreme level that,
Mm,
yeah, it in itself has gotten a bad name just because, oh, you're going to have roid rage and you're going to have this and that. And the reality is if you're doing TRT, which is usually with a doctor and you're being supervised and make sure you're getting the right stuff, is 100% safe and healthy. And that
totally.
feeling that you get, everyone wants that feeling. They just don't know that it's even available. That's
Right,
the
man.
crazy
Yeah.
part.
And it's cheap. Like once you get through the process, it's like not it's I don't even know what it is, maybe $50 a month to feel amazing all the time and like just to be able to move through the day. It's shocking. But like people to this day are like, you're never going to be able to come off of that. And I'm like, I'm 50. I'm almost 50 years old. I got two kids. If I can feel like this for the next 20, I don't care. Like
Right.
it doesn't matter, man. I'm really give me the fountain of youth in my veins. That's fine. All right. On top of the physical thing, like taking care of our body, working out, doing it first, getting the testosterone right. It's also a mind game, man. Right. And you taught me one of the greatest heuristics, one of the greatest mental health hacks I think that everybody has. Because, I started my health journey a little bit. I kind of dabbled in when we were training, back whenever that was, maybe 2016, 2015, something like that.
Yeah.
And, but you taught me a concept the first day we ever talked that just changed the way I think about like fitness and like life in general. And it's called live in the majority.
Yep.
And this concept took all the it takes so much pressure off of me in the gym, in my parenting, in my marriage, and everything. Like explain what live in the majority means, for fitness, but also just other things too.
Yeah. So, like, the big thing when it comes to fitness is everyone thinks they have to work out 5 days a week, have perfect meals, you get one cheat meal, yada, yada. And the reality is that's so hard to maintain that unless you're just a hermit and have no friends or no kids or no life, you can't do it. That's why bodybuilders are very alone because they don't have time for literally anything else.
Yeah.
And so, with live life in the majority, you are taking the biggest pieces and utilizing it to the maximum. So, if you're want to go have pizza with your kids, go and have pizza with your kids. Just make sure the majority of the day you're eating a clean breakfast, a light lunch, you have extra calories to enjoy that meal. And then the next day, go right back to your healthy breakfast again. Your body will know to flush out the bad and keep in the good. So as long as you keep that flow going, anytime you do bad, it's not the end of the world. And it goes for working out too. Like you don't need to depends what your goals are, but most people that just want to lose weight and tone up don't need to do 5 days a week in the gym. You want to be active, which means going for walks with your dog, mowing your grass, being outdoors. But actually, like working out is like 3 to 4 days a week. So the majority of the week you're fit and moving heavy weights, but the other time you're resting, enjoying, doing, vacations, whatever that ends up being. But your live life in the majority allows you to have that chocolate chip cookie when you want it, knowing that the rest of the day you're going to be clean and smart because you have a lifestyle that you want to live by.
Yeah, man. I think most guys that start working out, they miss a day and they feel like they broke their streak. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? But I'm just always looking back at the last 7 days. Like, did I get those 4 in? And like, as long as I'm living in the majority, I know I'm making progress. I know I'm looking forward. I don't have to stop. If I want to take a couple of days off, I can. I actually just thought about this morning, dude. Like, I've always thought about living the majority in the weight room as 4 out of 7 days, right? If I get
Yeah.
4 out of 7 in, I'm solid. That gives me my full split. I'm great. But then I went to my optimization specialist this morning, and we were talking about like rest and recovery. And dude, I was a college football weightlifting coach. I coached kids in the weight room, through 10 years of being a high school football coach. And like, I was always like, we got to get your rest. I was always harping on rest and recovery. Like, that's when you grow. And it just
Mhm.
hit me this morning. I'm at a little bit of a plateau right now. And I was like, oh, bro, that I need to flip that. Like, if I lifted Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I would live in the majority of rest and recovery. So then
Yeah.
I could like actually go out and like you're not confined to a split. Like, I did chest yesterday, can't do shoulders today, like whatever. You've got a day in between everything. So your
Mhm.
workout kind of opens up. And it's just amazing how fluid that philosophy can be. When I feel guilty about being on the road, with my I haven't seen my kids in a couple of days because I'm speaking or whatever I'm doing traveling. Like, I'm like, yeah, man, but like I live, I'm in their life all the time. Like, I'm there 4 days. I was gone for 3. Like, it's not a big
Right.
deal. It's just a balance. But you feel there's so much guilt when you don't feel like you're all in. We're supposed to lock in, Jeff. You know what
Oh
I'm
yeah.
saying? And the guilt that society puts on us is just so heavy that it's a good reminder to have a guy in your life that can speak into something like that.
And that's where I love, for the relationship side, like I do guys night every Thursday as I'm with my wife majority of the week, but I need my guy time to break away to, locker room talk, sarcasm, jokes, all the stuff that happens when you hang out with a group of guys and watch sports and we go to Buffalo Wild Wings. So
Man.
that is my not escape like I have to run away from my family, but just that's my, enjoyment of my minority time. I'm with the guys and that fills me up. So when I'm with the majority of the wife, she gets my full attention and not me wishing, oh, I wish I was with the guys right now or doing this.
Oh, the dudes
Because
are
I
eating wings right now, man. My boys.
exactly.
Even something you said right there, though, man. I've been really paying attention to my friend's language lately. Like, it's not like I need to escape from them. Like, you don't have to. It's like a qualification, but like, hot damn, boys. Sometimes you do need to escape, man. Life is hard, man. Like, I got 2 teenagers, man, and like, I love them. I mean, I can't even explain how much that I love those kids. But like at the same time, I'm like, whoa, I need a break. Like, I gotta eject so that I can go recharge and I can gotta come back, right? Like the
Mhm.
gym for me, like that's one place I'm not very social. I'm 100% extroverted all the time,
Yeah.
except at the gym because that is my escape from humanity. I do like to be around people, but I put my headphones in, I'm dialed in. I'm like, I just don't even want to talk to anybody for like an hour because I need to escape that a little bit and recharge so that I can come back. Maybe escape's not the
Yeah.
right word, but it feels like we have to justify everything as men if we take any
Yes.
time for ourselves. I hate that
Yeah.
feeling.
I know. But yeah, but I mean, that's where the majority live in life, a majority for relationships also works because it brings happiness and full circle of life versus just one streamlined path that just gets old and monotonous. And then you get lonely and depressed. And then it's not good for
Stagnant.
anybody. Yeah.
Yeah, lose the will to just move forward. It's ridiculous. One thing that was hard for me, you know, as a cautionary tale to everybody listening, was in 2022, I ended up my body. I got an infection. I got like a staph infection in my bloodstream, and I know a lot of it was my immune system was completely compromised from being 80 pounds overweight, and just all these different things happened. But it about took me out, man. And like I came out of that, you know, very motivated. Like I got to get my body back. I got to lose weight. I can't live like this. But even that motivation waned. And it really surprised me how ineffective being motivated is. Like you can watch all the David Goggins carrying the boats
Mhm.
videos you want. That's eventually like going to wear down. But I leaned back into what can I do consistently? How can I show up? And I built so much momentum that like now I can't even imagine not working out 3 or 4 times a week. Do you see that with the clients that you work with? Like people come in like hot and motivated and rely on that motivation. And everybody's looking for that motivation to get in shape. Got the wedding, got the vacation, got the
Yeah.
whatever. Those are good tools in the short term, but I think momentum is what men need to aim at so that they can, even if it's small, like going for a walk and then lifting weights and then doing more. Like, how do you see that play out with your clients? Like the people who are really motivated and the people who like just are consistent and show up in the majority all the time.
Yeah. And Tony Robbins says this great because he's like, he calls it the boiling pot effect. So everyone, then they have a big pain point like you almost could have died. Staph infection was very serious. So you started hitting the gym. You're in there, once you start losing 10 pounds, 20 pounds, then you don't have that urge and need anymore. So then you're like, oh, well, it's okay if I eat this pizza. It's okay if I eat this cookies. And then your bad habits take over because you don't have a system in place for momentum to happen. So unless you're
Mm,
an extremely like militaristic disciplined person, the best thing to do to avoid any stagnant places or losing momentum and things like that is to find enjoyment. So make sure your workouts are fun. Otherwise, you are going to be bored. Oh, it's chest day today. Oh, it's back day today. That gets boring after a while. So like switch it up to increase a different diversity in your workouts. And then the second is we as men and as humans are very visual people. So I love to tell everyone the post-it note secret to allow you to keep momentum going. So you need to see things 2 to 3 times a day for your body to remember what a goal means to you. So I
mm,
tell people to put a post-it note on their bathroom mirror and then a post-it note either on the fridge or pantry. Pantry if you are more of a snacker, fridge if you're more eating more leftovers and bigger meals. But put a post-it note what something means to you, whether it's a goal weight of 100 pounds, so you put that number there, or if it's a healthier for my kids or better doctor checkup. It doesn't have to be anything other than what's important to you. But when you
mm.
see it in the morning and you see it at a time of weakness when you're going to have a snack or an extra meal or things like that, your brain is going to be, okay, I know brownies are not good, but I can have celery instead. Let me have some celery. Or I
Yeah, yeah.
know Doritos are bad, so I'm going to switch and have an apple instead, or something along those lines that your brain makes you think again. And then if you still go past it, then you have to self-reflect and say, okay, why am I doing this? Am I stressed out?
That
I mean, you
post-it
have to
note was not the
want
wall I
it.
wanted.
You have to want the change. But the point is, being visual as men is a big part to helping keep the momentum going for sure
Yeah,
and
it's like
having fun.
it's like, do you really want to lose 50 pounds? Do you
Yeah.
really want, you're asking those stuff the questions. I actually learned this post-it note thing in a mental health setting one time where like the brain needs continuity. Like that's
Yeah.
really what our brain is always trying to figure out. Like it's trying to figure out like, okay, I'm here on, May 19th, but yesterday was May 18th and I was here, but I'm the same person that I was yesterday. And that's what these little triggers do for us is they build continuity. And the one I learned that's really, really helpful was like, it's basically like remember who you are. Remember your Shane Sams. Remember all the problems you've solved. Remember how capable you are, whatever it was. And that seems kind of like cheesy, but it's shocking when you do see it a couple times a day and you're losing your track and life's getting stressful. So I could totally see why, dude, I need to put one on the Honey Made graham crackers. I need to put a post-it note on the box. I am addicted to Honey Made graham crackers. I don't know why.
Mhm.
It makes no sense. But like I need to put a thing on the box there that just says like, hey, 2 graham crackers.
Two
Just
or
two,
no
not
or
12 or
stop.
no. Yeah, like tomorrow, you know what I'm saying? Like because
Yes.
I just go in there and it's almost like you go on autopilot sometimes, especially at night.
Oh, yeah. We're very habitual creatures being human. So the more healthy habits you have is a good thing because that habitual side of us will follow the healthy side. So, but it goes the same on the dark side. If you are snacking and getting overweight, that habit of emotional eating and doing that will happen too. So it's just, and the good thing about our body is nothing is ever permanent. So if you are out
Mm,
of shape, you can always get in shape. Now you won't
yeah.
stay in shape unless you work at it, but you can always go back to wherever you need to be. It's just where are you going to be the most consistent? And that's where it's going to be where you're happiest.
I had a thing too. I don't know if this resonates with you, but like, when you realize getting near 50 is a trip, bro. You're 43. I'm 40. I'm like,
Mhm.
I'm staring it down in the eyes. We're playing chicken right now at 50. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, half a century. That's crazy. But like, somewhere along my journey, I started feeling like really good about who I am now. Right.
Okay.
I think I went into it like, I got to get back to where I was. I got to do what I know I've been capable of, like in the past. But a really good frame of reference for me was, wait a minute, I really am getting to be a great version of a 40-year-old, 8-year-old dude. I do this thing, I call it top 10% human. If I do something anywhere, I always look it up to see like what percentage of humanity is doing this. So like,
Okay.
it's like the like benching over 225 is like 1% of the population. But if you look at like 40-year-olds, it's even lower. So I just like I look up these things like, but I flip to like, I want to build something new in my body instead of, because man, it's impossible to get back what you were sometimes. Even though you can lose weight, you can look good, you can feel different. You're still not I'm not 29-year-old Shane. You're not 29
Right.
year old Jeff McMahon. And
No.
like a lot of guys try to get back to that nostalgia of what they were. And I think that's where the frustration comes from, because somewhere deep down, you cannot be that guy anymore. But you can be
Correct.
something totally new if you start and do it consistently.
Yeah. And that's where for me, like, I don't like, there was a time when I was starting out and I was very skinny and worked out 6 days a week, pumped up as heavy as I could. So I just want to see how big in 1 year I could get to. And I gained 10 pounds of muscle and I was very happy. But in doing so, like now at 43, I don't need to bench press 415 pounds. I don't need to squat 500 pounds. I work out with 185 to 225 on a weekly basis. I do now for me is maintenance to be able to enjoy life and make memories with my kids. Like that's the
Yeah.
most important thing. I'm not trying to, be able to rip a car door off a car. Like I don't care about that. I just want to be able to
Yeah.
enjoy life and be physically able. Like if the kids want to say, Dad, let's go for a bike ride today, I'm able to go do that. If the kids
Yeah,
say,
man.
let's go fishing and deep sea fishing and pull up a marlin, I can do that too. Like those are the things that I want to be able to just be healthy enough to maintain that.
I'm trying to hold off a young lion right now. I got a 17-year-old, almost 18 in the house, and I made the fatal mistake of teaching him how to lift weights properly at 10 years old. So Isaac's like 6 foot tall, 215 pounds, just his shoulders and all that testosterone. You can see it, like he looks jacked, but I can still whip his ass. Don't think I can't. I can still whip his ass. And then, well, it's funny because like in my mind, I think about that like 18, 19-year-old version of Shane who was just shredded, jacked. Like I was so lean when I was in like college. And
Mhm.
it gives me solace that I could whip my old version's ass. That's all I got to do. I can't look like him. I can't pose down with him, but by God, I'll get him in a sleeper hold real quick. All right.
Exactly.
There's another thing that I think that like working out does. Working out is a great equalizer. Like when you go into the gym, you've got millionaires next to construction guys. You've got
Mhm.
whatever next to whatever. And one of the things that guys are missing because they're putting everybody else first and they're focused on work and they're focused on getting the kids places and they're focused on what their wife needs and they're focused so much on everybody else. You also lose not just your body over time, but you lose that camaraderie. You lose that like brotherhood. And when you go into the gym, even if you never talk to anybody, even if you just say hi to people, you see other men like struggling, showing up. There's almost like an accountability in that group that there's other people show. Like I get used to the same people every day, and even people I don't talk to, I'm like, where did Bob go? Why is Bob not here? Bob should be over on the pec deck right now, pissing me off because he's looking at his phone. Where's Bob? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But
Yeah.
like what do you think that the value of just being at the gym is for people, or going to a personal trainer and working for someone. And like, why do men especially underestimate how much they need that in their life?
Well, it's just funny because most people have the conception like, oh, if I'm not in shape, I can't go to the gym because they're going to make fun of me for lifting 10-pound dumbbells or whatever. And honestly, the gym culture, minus kids doing TikTok videos or whatever, the gym culture is a good culture where people just want to help you. If you ask someone like, hey, can you show me how to do this the right way? They're not going to look down at you or think anything other than, okay, I'm happy to help. Let me show you how to do this the proper way. Or, but a lot of men think that, we're instilled that we're supposed to know how to work out from high school or supposed to know how to just work out in general. And, the knowledge of our bodies have changed. And as you get older, you might be more injured or you might be weaker than you thought. And so having guidance is definitely a good thing too. When people come to me and want to start working out, a lot of it is because of my exercise science and sports medicine background that they are intrigued to have a goal to one day train for a triathlon or one day climb Mount Kilimanjaro, which I've done with both clients. But the point is, it's never a bad thing to ask for help. And I think as guys,
Yeah.
we have to be okay with asking for help, whether it's just someone in the gym, like if you see Shane and say, hey, can you show me how to do this barbell row or whatever, like you're not going to not help them because that's the culture to lift each
I'm
other
waiting
up.
for that question. Let me tell
Yeah,
you everything I know. You know what I'm saying? We're dudes. We want to tell everything we know. I'll
right.
fix it. We want to fix everything. I'll fix you. Let's go, man. Let's do this. Right. And then it's like you get in there and it's like it's just so weird. Like because I know a lot of like, like I kind of know people in the area and like what they do, and everybody's just there. Everybody's just showing up. And like it's funny too because like I'll see guys, that 1,000 yard stare in the gym where that guy's lifting that weights for his mind more than he is his body. Like
Yeah.
he's in there that day, he's focused, he's got his headphones on, maybe he's sitting with his head down a little bit or whatever. And it's not that you need to go over and like say something to that guy, but it's like you just see the struggle, and
Mhm.
you realize like even without talking to that guy, like you're not alone. And I think that that's what the gym has done more for me even than the changes in my body, is it's given me a place to go where honestly guys, there is no judgment. Like if a big guy walks in the gym, I'm like, hell yes, that dude's getting his life together. 99% of other people are in the drive through right now.
Yep.
And that's the mentality, that is the real gym culture. You just got to go and search yourself into it and just
Yeah.
show up.
And I tell everyone the best ways to start any weight loss process is to start walking. And you say, why? Because walking and sleeping burns the most fat in a body. No one wants
Mm,
to lose all their muscle, they want to get rid of fat. So if
right.
you start with walking, you go 30 minutes minimum. If you can go longer than 60, fantastic, but at least 30 minutes. Walking is a great way to start the fat burning process. Once you're comfortable with that, then start with some free weights. Free weights are great because they're going to teach you to teach your body how to move better, stronger, and the proper way. Because if you don't go the proper way, you're going to get hurt. So
Yeah.
free weights are a great tool. And then from there, work on the barbell and machines and go heavier. But dumbbells will allow you to pick and choose where you're comfortable with weights and give your body a more functional response. But always walking start, weights second, and then after that, if you want to start training for something, whatever, by all means. But that's the
Get you going.
easiest way to get started.
Dude, you know what this is how horrifically in bad shape I was, Jeff. Like when
Yeah.
after I came out of the hospital, I was just so I couldn't do anything. Like I could work and that was it. And like I actually said, all right, I have to trigger movement. So like I made a deal with myself. If I opened my eyes, I would be grateful because God gave me another day first. And then
Yeah.
I just started saying 10 toes down. And then my first part of my workout health journey was put 10 toes on the floor, walk to the front door, walk outside in the sun. Not take a walk, not anything else. I had to do that for like 3 or 4 weeks to build that little bit of momentum in. And then I did what you just said. I started walking.
Yep.
And so I would get up, I would go. Actually, I had to give myself a trigger. I had to leave the house to get myself to the walk. So I would go down to this little gas station and buy an energy drink and talk to my buddy down there. So I was like, all right, because once I got there, it was like you can go home and be soft, or you can keep going,
Or
right? And then
yeah.
I would walk. And then when I walked, then I went in and I focused on the only thing I did when I first started out was squat the bar, do pull downs, and bench or incline. I did incline press because I don't like bench press. But like those three movements, just the three compound movements, just move. And then there's this moment, it's hard to explain, where you see the progress and you realize that that becomes automatic, not going and getting the graham crackers. And I felt that automation, and then it just started building on top of it when I got that momentum behind me.
Yeah, no, and I'm that with, like, if I don't feel my body that I've done something, start to get self-conscious, like, okay, I didn't work out yesterday, I was too busy. I got to get it in today because it is important to me. I do want to A, take care of myself. B, I want to be attractive. So my wife, we I'm a
Wants to
man. I
get it
enjoy
on, son. Let's go,
intimacy. Like,
baby.
I don't want to not have intimacy in my life. But so many men are missing that now because they've let themselves go. The wives let themselves go. I'm not judging, but it's out there. My brother is battling this scenario that his wife is 150 pounds overweight and he struggles with intimacy with her because he's just not attractive. So I
Mm.
don't want that in my life. And so I do it for that. But then it's also, it's therapy because it's fun to, like, I'm a black belt in Taekwondo. So my kick bag, for all those people that can see it, I beat the hell out of that for my cardio because that's my favorite cardio. And that allows me to get my heart rate up, and everything else is, I'm not big into running anymore. I used to, but for soccer, but I don't anymore. So kick
That's big
bag is
stress
my
relief too.
cardio.
Yeah, man. Just beat the hell out of that bag.
Beat the hell.
I've got one of those slam balls. You ever seen the slam
Uh-huh.
balls? The really thick medicine balls with the rubber on them.
Yep.
And I love doing that thing. I love going out there in the garage when I have any kind of stress, and I just try to
Just
throw that through to the center of the earth. But that thing will wind you. It will make you super winded. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like it'll get your cardio up. And I had a buddy of mine that one day, and he was just bitching about his wife not putting out and not they weren't having sex anymore. You can hear that a lot from guys.
You do.
And I just looked at him, and your boy's got to tell you the truth. And I was like, would you have sex with you? I'm seriously, like, just look at yourself in the mirror. Like, I know she used to have sex with you, but do you know what you used to look like? Because
Right.
like that's different. Or does she want Jabba the Hutt crawling all over her? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you doing, bro?
Sweaty and breathing heavy.
Yeah, that's
Like,
on you. Be someone she's willing to make love to, right?
yes.
That's not a narcissistic thing. Like, you don't gotta be a supermodel, but like you are a bodybuilder, but like be healthy. And
Oh,
I saw an amazing Instagram this morning. I follow this guy's like New Age CEO or something like that. I can't remember. He's got some great points, and he was kind of talking about like this, like when you if you don't know two men walk into a room and one guy is fit, not like Adonis, but like just fit and healthy,
yeah.
and one guy is clearly throwing down six Dunkin' Donuts every morning, there the respect meter goes up for the guy that's healthy. It's just how we're wired, because that guy's
Yep.
he's presenting discipline. That guy had to do something. He can't look like that if he's not taking a walk every day or whatever, right?
Correct.
Goals. This guy can focus. Like, this guy probably shows up and does what he says he's going to do because he's showing up for himself. And I think a lot of guys that struggle, I coach a lot of entrepreneurs and business owners, and that's one of the first things I say to them is like, you got to act like the person you're trying to become, and respect is completely earned. And sometimes it's judged by the cover. It's not what's inside the book. And that's just the way it is to get in the door.
Because cover does say just like that. If you're out of shape, you're lazy. You're going to be tired. You're most likely going to be unmotivated. You're going to be late or whatever. You're slow moving as opposed to fast moving and get things done. So it's not true. It's just, as part of life, and that's where you as a man got to take into account what are you going to do about it. That's how it
Totally.
is. So what are you going to do? You can be healthy. You can choose to be healthy. No one's stopping you from being healthy.
It's calories and movement, people. Don't let anybody fool
Calories.
you. Slide toward the protein. And it's not just like I need to eat so many calories. Like, I'm not saying that. There's problems with all measurements like that. But like when I started really getting in shape, I was like, okay. And I charted my calories. That's all I charted at the beginning. I knew I needed more protein, so I skewed toward protein. But
Mhm.
like the reason I did that was because I needed some measurable number that I could track that would do something. So like I found out that like at the time when I would drop when I was losing the fat, all the weight, I was like, oh, 1,750 calories every single day that I do this, something goes down in the on the scale
Yep.
or something like that. And then then on the flip side, when worried less about calories but just started tracking protein like a madman, right? I noticed that when I ate over 180 grams of protein, I felt stronger. My composition started gradually changing over time. And it's just finding those things that you can measure to keep it as simple as possible that trigger the progress you're actually after. Because you can't just show up and go through the motions and anything work.
You can't outwork out your diet. You can't just go home and have soda and large pizza after a workout or anything like that. But to make it easy for the audience, the best thing to do is first track your protein. And then once and AI can do all this for you. This isn't rocket science. Just type in I want to track my protein. Here's my height, my weight, and my age, and it'll calculate it all for you. And then it can give you ideas as to what to be eating for protein. But once you eat that first in any meal, and then have veggies after that, and then carbs, and in that order, protein, veggies, carbs, you're going to be losing weight and being cleaner and feeling better just because your priorities are in the right order. You want protein to build muscle. You want green vegetables, preferably, to give your body more vitamins and minerals to burn fat while you're sleeping. And then you
And
want
so
carbs.
you poop. You got to take good dumps.
And so
Got to
you
take good
poop.
dumps. That helps. But and always take the dump before you weigh yourself in the morning because it'll feel better.
Yes.
At least mentally, you'll be lighter.
And then carbs last, because carbs are really only for energy. So unless you're doing it around an activity, your body needs carbs, but you don't need to overdo it on carbs. So if you fill up protein first, veggies, and carbs in that order, you will be completely fine. It doesn't matter if it's oatmeal or brown rice or whatever you want to do for the carbs or the protein, just have that order and that'll keep it simple. The other part is sleep. Make sure that you're getting a consistent bedtime. Whatever that time is for you, just make sure it's consistent so your body knows to shut down. And then try to get, if you want to see a change, try to get 7.5 to 9 hours of sleep a night. Your body sleeps in hour and a half intervals. So that means 6 hours, 7.5, 9 hours of sleep. Your body's going to wake up at its lightest point. So therefore, you're not groggy, you're not hitting the snooze alarm, and you can feel refreshed because you're not breaking a cycle, but you're ending a cycle to wake up and feel good. So fine tune whatever that looks like for you. If you do less than 7.5 and you're a 6 hour person, everyone's different, but ideally for change, you want to shoot for 7.5 to 9 to give your body enough time to flush out all the toxins, which is your lymphatic system. That's why your liver is so important for your health, because the healthier your liver is, the lower your cholesterol, the lower fat you have, and the better your body is at pooping to excrete all the waste out of your body. Well, because
I'm
it's all
telling you,
toxin. That's all
it's all about the
toxic in
poop,
your
bro.
body.
You got to get the poop out. I'm telling you,
It's
you got
about
to
the,
get it
but
out,
some
dude.
people don't. They go like 3 or 5 days without going to the bathroom. I'm like, that is insane.
Nah, man. Every morning, 7 a.m.
You
Let's go.
should be regular every day.
Yeah,
If you're
man, let's
not,
go.
find out how to be regular
Yeah,
every day.
I get
That's,
worried. I get worried. Like, oh man, I don't gotta go. There's a problem here. I gotta fix
yeah.
something. The sleep one's the hardest one, man, because like the mind is so involved and like, but the
Mhm.
going to bed at the same time is the best thing, and you kind of have to ride that out until your body adjusts.
Yeah.
Because like I try to go to sleep at 10:30. That's when I usually just shut it down. I kind of chill for a minute, read or something like that, and then like if I can go to sleep at 11, I can get that full 7 hours in. But sometimes like the mind races or things happen. But the sleep one, man, I woke up from a sleep cycle this morning, dude. I did not even know I was alive for an hour and a half. I could I must have woke up right in the middle of the deepest layer of sleep that you could ever be in. And
Mhm.
it was a grind this morning to get going, man. And yesterday I was like, why did I do that? Because yesterday I got up in the morning, I took my dog to the lake, we went on a hike. You know what I'm saying? So I started my day with the hike, and then I worked hard. I had great podcasts. I went back to the gym and got a little lift in. I went and saw my mom and dad. I was like, hey, I'm going to sleep great tonight. And I could not fall asleep. And then I woke up in the middle of the craziest thing. But it's like, I'm not judging myself by necessarily what happened. I did everything right. And last night, for some reason, I had a little trouble going to bed and I got up. But tonight I'll do the same thing. And if I can do that 5 out of 7 nights and I can get good sleep on the other two, like it's over time, it's gonna make up for it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, but yeah, so teaching your body sleeping, because staying up later on the weekends isn't healthy for us. If you want to, I'm not stopping you, but if you really want to be well-rounded, healthy lifestyle, even on weekends, you know, just try to keep a consistent bedtime if you can, and then you'll be happy with the results after that, because that gives you energy for the day. That allows you to want to be motivated to go work out, want to be present with the family, all that kind of stuff, because you're recuperated, and allows your body to, your heart to get stronger, your brain to get stronger, so you have less brain fog, all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny too because like like staying up late was just something you do. You associate it with fun, I guess, because
Yeah.
that's what we do when we're young. And like Joss and I love to go to like music festivals and like EDM concerts and all this stuff just to get in a big group of people, listen to some good music. And there's this one now called it's a festival called In Bed by 10 p.m. That's literally the name of the festival. They market it to people over 40, so you can go like hear music and hang out. But they're like, we're shutting this down at 10 o'clock, guys. We're going to bed. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Like this, but like I was like, that stuff like that is like there is fun before 10 p.m. There
Yes.
really is, and you can find it like if you get out and do it. And it's also like for us, bro, we're on the back nine. I mean,
Hmm.
honestly, like we're on the back half of life. There's not a lot of like time left, and there's kind of a window of opportunity when you turn 40 to really start focusing about this because I always view it as an investment in my future self. Like I'm building the muscle now I'm taking into my 50s. I'm in my
Yep.
50s, I'll be maintaining and building the muscle that I'll take into my like 60s. So there really is like an urgency, actually probably over 35 to start doubling down and getting it right because it's just going to get harder and harder and harder. Like, do you feel that urgency or do you see that as like a almost like a call to action to people?
Well,
Like, dude, what are you waiting on? Because it ain't gonna get any easier in the future.
that's why I don't want to stop working out and lose the momentum of, you know, my active activities and all that kind of stuff, just because age is always against us. Time on this earth is always against us. And so,
Entropy wins every
and
time.
yeah, so the only thing we can do is what you can do. And it's, you just have to ask yourself, why don't you want to work out? Why don't you want to be more active? And not that you have to have a six pack and look like, Adonis, but it's just what what is stopping you from just being fit and healthy and, you know, happy? The biggest
Yeah.
word there is happy. What's stopping you from being happy?
Yeah.
Because there ain't anyone unhappy walking out of a gym after a good
No, man.
workout.
No, no. And anyone who is fit, I've never met anyone who lost 20 or 30 pounds and just like, man, I really want that back. I just, I just really loved feeling sluggish and miserable. And I just don't, I need that in my life. Those
Yeah.
sluggish days. I've never heard anybody actually say anything like that. Transformation's fun, man. Like, people will ask me like what I do, like for work. And I will usually just quit back at them like, I change life for a living, baby. I change lives for a living. I'm in the transformation game. But there is something about being a man and still having like the power to transform something in your life, like especially
Mhm.
your body, which is the only thing that we have control over. Like the only thing you have control over in your life is being the healthiest you can be. I know some people have conditions and things like that. It's the healthiest you can be. And honestly, where you move your feet, like where you put yourself every day, like are you putting yourself in the right place to be or to have the opportunity to be in the right place at the right time? And you've helped a
Oh
lot of
yeah.
people, man, transform and like, and I'm sure you've seen like a lot of these men you work with, for example, like their lives change like when they get it out. So what is your definition of greatness? Like what have you witnessed out there, like beyond the sets and PRs and all that stuff? Like when a man does get his health back, like how does that bring, how does that create the opportunity for more greatness in his life?
I mean, the biggest thing I see, which is never marketed or anything like that, is when you are transforming and you get to a spot, it's the one word of confidence. And it's the
Mm,
word that's not used enough, but it's the word that means the most. And so when you are confident, when you saw yourself in the mirror, that's confidence. And why? Because that feeling that you got now made you the happiest you've been at that moment to want to keep going.
Mm,
So when you think about it, like getting results is good, but the only way to get results is to be consistent. So if you're consistent, you get results. When you results, you get happy. When you get happy, you keep going back to the consistency. So
mm,
for men, it's like finding how to get that confidence. And if it's like some people want to be, bigger on stage, so to say. So they want to feel good in their clothes. So when they're in front of people, they can present better because that's going to get them more gigs and things like that. It's also
mm.
people want to avoid, like for me, I have a whole plethora of health issues from my mom's side that I'm trying to avoid by being a healthy lifestyle because I lost my mom at a young age and I don't want my kids to lose me. So I want to take care of myself to battle genetics basically and
Yeah.
see how much I can, be there and get above it before something happens. So for greatness in life and men especially, it's going to be where can you be confident that you feel good in a suit at a wedding where there's going to be lots of pictures? Where is it that you're going to be confident that when you go to the beach, like my one guy in Washington was like, I took my shirt off for the first time in 22 years of
Dang,
marriage
that's great.
because I lost 35 pounds and I felt good enough to be shirtless at a beach. He wasn't, ripped or, anything like that. He was healthy and happy and had the confidence to just have his shirt off at a beach where people are
Mm.
going to look at him. And he wasn't expecting any judgment or anything like that. So those are the things that confidence brings that it's never really talked about, in my opinion.
That's beautiful, man. I've never really thought about it that way, but like, and confidence is like, like we went to the Dominican Republic with the kids last October, right? And
Yeah.
like, I was excited to take my shirt off, bro. I wouldn't have took it off 5 years ago in that resort because I
I'm
went to
saying
that
when you
same
were
resort
280,
five
would
years
you
ago.
take that shirt off? No.
No, I went to that. I went to that same. We went to the same location, like the same city. But like, no, dude, I was swimming in a freaking shirt, long sleeve, like
Hmm.
because I look back at that person and I'm like, was that me? Was I really that big? But like, it's the not even thinking about it. Like at first the confidence is like, I'm gonna take my shirt off. Then the next time is like, you just take your shirt off. You don't even think about it. Then the next time is like, dang, I can't wait to take my shirt off. I'm just gonna stand by the pool and I'm gonna flex. That's what I'm gonna do. All right, man. Good stuff, man. Man, great. Thank you for all the tips and stuff that you've shared, man. Like I know you're a wealth of like information and for all the guys out there who are looking for a little more confidence, how can they follow you online, dude? Like what are you doing out there? What are you creating? And guys
Yeah.
wanting to get back into shape or just get healthier and be a little bit happier, have a little more confidence, how can they find Jeff McMahon?
Yeah, find me on YouTube is the best place. Ageless Athletes Show, and lots of plethora of knowledge. The Live Life Majority is on there. Everything else is on there as well. And then from there, my email's on there. So just connect with me if you need guidance. I always give free tips. If you need more information and want to do like app workouts, I can design those for you. Whatever people need, I'm here to help. But the knowledge is always going to be there on YouTube. So check me out on there.
And I've got to drive up and I want to beat the shit out of that kickback behind you at some point. I just want to go
It's right
fight that
there.
thing. It's been staring at me this whole time. If you're watching this on YouTube. All right, brother. Thanks for being on the show today, man.
All right. Thanks, Shane.
All right, guys, that wraps up my hang with old Jeff McMahon. Jeff's a great dude, man, and he is just a wealth of info knowledge about the body and about training. But you don't have to be pre-med and pre-pharmacy to just get your body right. I mean, I think that a man's body is the first thing he should worry about every day because without your health, you can't be there for your family. And when your health is bad, you're a lesser version of yourself for your family, for your friends, for your colleagues, for your career, for everything else. But if you can focus on being the best version of yourself, like in your health, that's going to let you pour in to other people so you can actually pursue greatness on your own terms. All right, guys, that's all the time we have for this week. I want to send you an invitation right now to come over and hang out with Jeff McMahon. He's in the community. Hang out with the guests you're hearing on the show in our community over at greatmen.org. We've got a free community if you want it to be for anybody out there, just guys looking for other guys to hang out with, to talk about life, to talk about your health, to talk about your business, to talk about the things that we go through as fathers and as friends. And everything we're doing is over at greatmen.org. We've also got a lot of cool live events coming up. We've got our next Great Men Guys trip happening in Colorado here in just a few weeks. We're going to be doing some more of those guys trips throughout the year. And we're putting together the first Great Men Gathering. We're going to be hosting a conference. I'll be telling you more about that right here on the podcast. And you can check it out over at greatmen.org. All right, guys, I'll see you next week. Until then, get out there and build a great life on your terms. We'll see you then.